Top speed sprint mechanics, step 7 here. So to me, this is the most important aspect of understanding how to sprint correctly. And we're going to be talking about the recovery leg. So we've talked about neutral chin, our pelvis in the right position, and the sprinting posture is step 2, starting in hip flexion, dorsiflexion, landing in front of our center of gravity, anticipating all those things. So now what we're talking about is after we extend and we drive and we land and our body goes over the top, what we need to understand is that the recovery leg is a drive phase, and it's a fastest point from A to B phase. It's not a leg swing. So a lot of people when they're sprinting, where they mess up is they swing their leg, and that will then mess up every other step, their posture, their positioning, where they want to land, their center of gravity, their force, all those things, because they swung their leg through rather than drive. So as my foot leaves the ground, right, I'm going to be over the top, my foot's going to leave the ground. I have a couple options. So I can kind of kick my leg like this. I can go back into nowhere. There's nothing to push off here, which is what a lot of athletes do. Or what I'm trying to get my athletes to understand, and we have a lot of drills working on this recovery phase, is, and this is top speed. This is not acceleration. Acceleration is going to be different. We're going to be lower, and it's going to be more of a piston action in and out. So think of a car piston going up and down. This, as we're going top speed, so we're tall sprint mechanics here, the recovery phase is really working kind of like a calf to hamstring or a heel to butt, but it's as the knee moves forward. So I want to think about keeping my knee as close to me as possible as I move forward. So not swinging out here like this. I want to keep it as close as possible to get myself to flexion. So there's going to be a point where I'm almost right here as I'm sprinting, and you'll see that in the video attached here. You'll see what's going on is that calf to hamstring. I'm not trying to do that. That's just naturally happening. So I have to have the mobility in my hips, in my quad, my rec fem here, in my hamstrings to be able to get into that right position. I have to have the strength too. So we really work a lot of concentric hamstring stuff because that's what we're working. If we land in the right position, we don't reach out, we're not going to have as much eccentric force where we're kind of pulling. So some coaches will teach you to kind of pull the ground. Well, your hamstring's long there, and now you're pulling. So think about this. You're shortening the hamstring through that movement. So that's why some of our drills, we work the eccentric and the concentric really, really fast. So as we work this position now, we think keeping that knee as close as possible, driving. I want to imagine a pane of glass, and I want to drive and break that, and I don't want to waste any energy. So my knee goes from here to here a lot faster than it would maybe go from here to swing to go here. And then you'll notice to get there, I had to move my hips. So if my hips are moving, think about it as the axle of a car. So the axle between the two wheels. The axle never moves, right? It just spins. But if the axle moves forward, backwards, think about what happens to the wheels. We go all over the place, and we don't land where we need to. So we're going to miss our sweet spot, and we're going to be in and out. So that's going to be, if we're not consistent through that, speed is about consistency. It's about hitting the same spot every time as fast as you can. So we don't want to move our hips to get up. So a lot of coaches, right, it's a big struggle with a lot of athletes. You say high knees, we lean back. So we lose our posture, move our hips, we lean back, got our knees up, great, not going to hit our spot. So we got to work that posture and position all the way through this, and then as our leg comes back, not kicking out, not kicking our butt here either. You'll notice it's here, it's not here. My knee gets up, and that's a really fast movement. Now I'm ready to prepare for my next step. I get time to anticipate. I get time to land where I want. I get more force down because I've got my knee higher by not swinging and taking a lot of time. I've driven, and then I come back down. So that's hard to maintain, and that's hard to work. But that's the real goal of getting there. So we do some drills where it's like a heel to butt high knee or calf to hamstring. A lot of times when I'm coaching athletes, it's that biggest focus is the recovery leg, because once we get that, if we got the right posture and positioning, neutral chin, if we can get the extension and understand how to anticipate the ground, if we get the recovery leg, the drive down and the extension down is easy because, holy cow, our knee just got there, and it was so much faster and so much easier once we figure it out. So a real big aspect of top speed sprinting is understanding that recovery leg and how important it is, not to just kind of kick it back and then swing it forward. You want to work that calf to hamstring, drive that knee up, and prepare for your landing.